Welcome to another video of Journey to the Last Frontier. Today, I'm going to be talking about something a lot of people who enjoy fishing want to know. What is a trophy fish? How do I catch one? And when do I know I caught a trophy? A trophy fish is this big, or is it like way out there? Well, I've been fishing for many decades, and I have caught all kinds of fish, many fish that people would consider a trophy, such as sailfish, 150 to 170 pound tarpon fish, 35 plus pound dolphin or mahi mahi dorado fish. But in today's video, I'm going to focus on my compulsive obsession of trophy fish for bonefish and trophy fish for trout. And I think a trophy fish to me is something that's really an obsessive compulsion to go after. The trophy fish that I have mounted in my house is my trophy bonefish and my trophy rainbow trout. So let's talk about what makes them special and why I consider them a trophy. And you could certainly have a 10-pound bass as a trophy, a sailfish as a trophy. Anything could be a trophy, and we're going to talk about that next. So for me, a trophy fish is the expression of that desire to go after the best example of that species, that you have dedicated time and money, sometimes years and thousands of dollars going after one specific fish. And those for me are bonefish and rainbow trout. So my trophy bonefish is about a little more than 14 pounds. So my trophy bonefish, I have spent many years and countless thousands of dollars targeting bonefish, particularly going after a big trophy. I've caught many bonefish in the 5 to 8 pound range, and those are great, amazing fish. And for many people, that is their trophy, that is a bucket list fish. Me living in South Florida, Biscayne Bay and the flats where the bonefish are my home water. So for me, an 8-pounder was not going to justify putting it up on the wall. I wanted a big trophy fish. And this is the story of how I got my 14-pound trophy bonefish. My shot came one day. My guide and I, my go-to guide, Mo, we were specifically targeting big bonefish. We saw a school tailing in the flats, and we targeted that school. Sight casting to the biggest gray ghost shadow I've ever seen. Get that, we were fishing with live shrimp, not flies. Getting that shrimp right in front of that bonefish's nose. See him take it in the skinny water of Biscayne Bay, and he peeled off more than 100 yards of line before I was able to stop and turn him. And then the fight really started, and it was a spectacular fight with a bonefish, several runs near the boat. We finally got him turned towards the boat after a bruising fight. We netted him. We were able to take some very nice photos, revive him back in the water, and release him safely so he could be caught another day, or do whatever big bonefish do in Biscayne Bay. That's trophy story number one. And now I have this beautiful bonefish mount in my so-called man cave part of the garage. And the fish was released safely, and the mount was made to my specifications based on measurements and weight. So now let's talk about obsession number 2, which is my trophy rainbow trout that I just received the mount recently. I've been chasing rainbow trout all over the country, from Maine to Montana to Massachusetts. I have chased them in Wyoming, I have chased them in Alaska, and I have chased them just about anywhere rainbow trout are. I've caught some very nice ones, all 12, 15, 18 inches, never broke 20, never got my trophy rainbow that I wanted, regardless of how much money I spent on gear, trips, flies, all of that. So as I was planning my Alaska trip for 2022, and there's plenty of videos and blogs, and you can get those links in the description, I targeted Kenai Peninsula, Kenai River in particular, opening day weekend 2022. Now, the Kenai is famous, world famous, for giant, big rainbow trout. They're native to those waters. They fatten up all year long. It's a short window to target them. Based on my travel schedules, the best I was able to do was opening weekend in the Kenai, 3 days. I was ready, and the river delivered. While the Kenai produces much larger fish than the trophy I got, because it was early in the season, the first weekend in June, it was actually the largest rainbow caught that opening week of the season on the entire river. My baby came in at 29 inches. I have it mounted in my man cave looking at the bonefish, and caught it on a 5-weight Orvis fly rod using a orange reddish bead imitating a salmon egg that they feed on in that river. It was a spectacular fight, really awesome. Several jumps, got him to the net, got him to the boat, took some amazing photos, revived, and gently released this beautiful rainbow trout back into the wilds of the Kenai River. While this river produces much larger fish later in the season, such as September and October, really sweet getting the biggest fish opening day and opening week on the Kenai, which was what yours truly did. I hired a local taxidermist in the Kenai Peninsula in Soldotna. Again, info in the description if you're interested. Did an amazing job, turned it around in 6 months or so. Have that now in my garage man cave fishing area. And every time I look at either the bonefish or the rainbow trout, it takes me to those moments where the drag is zipping, the fish are jumping, turning its head. I'm able to relive every moment, also knowing that both of those fish were safely released back to their wild environments. So my third trophy fish, which I have yet to catch, but is a similar obsession, is the peacock bass. I've been peacock bass fishing in Miami for better part of a decade, mostly canals, lakes, in the Everglades. I've caught them from literally little things to the biggest one I got was 6¼ pounds personal best here in South Florida. That is huge. In their native habitat in the tributaries to the Amazon River or the Rio Negro in Brazil, they reach 20, 25, up to 30 pounds. I have 2 trips planned now for Brazil, one in August of 23 and one in January of 24. The specific goal is to get a trophy peacock bass north of 20 pounds and also safely release that back to its wild ecosystem so it can continue to do what peacock bass do. How do you catch a trophy fish? It's dedication and persistence, or blind luck. Could be any of those. I really obsessed in bone fishing and rainbow trout and peacock bass, and I focus on them. Read as much as I can, understand their habitats, understand patterns of migration, bait fish, flies, the whole thing. I also go with some amazing guides here in South Florida, and one of the best in the Amazon I will be fishing with for the first time. But I have known of him and communicated with him for more than 2 years now. So I feel that that's key if you're looking for a trophy. What's your passion? Learn about the fish's habitat, how it lives, how it feeds, how it spawns, what motivates it. Remember, it's fishing, not catching. You are the alien, so to speak, in its environment. You'll never be as smart as the fish. And your guide, no matter how great they are, will never be as smart as the fish. So basically you have 2 dummies out there fishing, you and the guide, in pursuit of an animal that has evolved over millions of years to do one thing and one thing well, whether it's a bonefish, a trout, or peacock bass. It's their environment. They know exactly what they're doing, and we're just really guessing. Even with all the information that we have out there on the internet, on YouTube, mouth to mouth guides, books, all of that. It's at the end of the day, it's really up to the fish.